Hey, welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. My name is Tom. I'm a fantasy sports addict. I'm joined today discussing the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational with our good friend Cubby and also our other good friend Andrew.
Hey.
At Fantasy Aid 1. Cubby Knoll is at Cubby Knoll on Twitter. And so we're just we're just talking about it, baby. This is I mean, you guys both write for Fantasy Front Office.
Andrew does most of the writing.
Well, but at
that's where we contribute. Correct.
Right. That's my website's fucked, so
you got the under construction animation on there.
Yeah, I need that little under construction.
So this thing kicked off hour 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, we've been sitting here slapdicking around. Nobody's making any picks. I mean, it's been slow, but we've at least been able to make our picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's go in order. Who drafted first? That was you, James, right?
Yeah, I had second overall pick. Went chalk
Okay.
to bets. There was some thought into Scherzer, but I really couldn't just chalk.
Okay, but so you got you got your Dookie Mookie, baby.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna complain. And he was taken number 1 overall in 2 of these 21 leagues.
Okay. And we'll give Smada his credit. We should probably maybe show his spreadsheet or at least mention the Smada spreadsheet. And like I said, if you don't know what the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational is, it's the threre of us are lucky to be here. We are in over our fucking heads and we don't give a shit. We're just here, you know what I mean? But no, I love this. I'm excited. But the problem is not everybody is as excited as we are. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's there's a lot of people that are just slapdicking around here.
Yes, they're very slow, but we didn't get to Andrew. Andrew, we didn't get to Andrew. What'd you take? Who'd you get?
I had 6 overall picks, and I took Mookie's teammate, JD Martinez.
Got some dongs, and I got some Mad Max. I got a homeless fucking person texting me. Yeah, that's all good shit. But you think about it, we all got pretty lucky with our picks. I like our picks.
Yeah, I mean, Betts is chalk. JD is. I mean, we have a guy from our website, Daniel, who runs spreadsheets and projections, and Syracuse is teaching them all, and he has JD as the number 3 hitter overall. So I think it's a great pick by Andrew there.
Yeah, I mean, dongs. I was queuing him up. I mean, again, this is the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational. And we got people that are still just sitting there, you can hear that, right? Rubbing your hands, just, but nobody's picking. It's day 1, round 1, and there are still leagues where it's moving this slow.
Well, I will say my league is almost done with round 1.
Well, and that's all right. So that's not bad. That's good. That's a good thing. I mean, it kind of crapped out after me. I think I got one more pick after me in my league, but it's just what are you doing joining an industry league where you're just sitting there,
come on, Lee.
whacking your nuts. You know what I mean? Like
This is what we've been waiting for months. This is what we've been practicing for months.
exactly. What are you doing, baby? That's the whole point. I mean, it's kind of funny, but so what's our strategy going forward? Let's talk a little bit about that. Like, let's talk about, and again, not that we're gonna spoil, because again, we know what everybody in these leagues are gonna do. We know what the situation is. You know, we know what our competition is. But like, let's talk about like, well, what direction are we headed here?
Basically, what we learned from last year that we need to improve upon this year.
Exactly. Well, all right. So in my case, like, I'll just start off here. You know, like, I didn't have enough starting pitching. I didn't have, you know, I mean, the closers. You know, you gotta stack your closers. It's standard. All right. So these are on NFNBC, and credit to them. And credit to Justin Mason, of course, for inviting us to these leagues. But you know, we've got the situation where it's 5x5, and you're going against insane competition. You know, like, you can't discount anybody in your league. There's no slapstick clowns. You got to get serious. And so, for me, you know, like, a little more starting pitching, a little more relief pitching, I would be okay with that.
Right. And for me, last year, I was not only in my league, but in all of TGFBI, I had one of the top pitching staffs in it and great ratios. But for me, I was severely lacking on home runs, RBIs. My offense was just okay with not a lot of power. And that's what I want to fix this year.
Fair enough. You know, again, fair enough. Like, Cubby, obviously, he's probably going to be going after saves because that was his.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna overcorrect or overcompensate. You know, like, I'll pick my spots. I'm gonna walk away with one guaranteed closer because last year I walked away with 0 once the draft concluded, and
you got to get.
I pissed away my fab money all season, and I think at the end of the year, even after picking up a couple guys I went from like last in my league in saves to like 13th, and that was after spending like 80% of my fab on potential closers. So I'll be sure to grab one, but just general strategy is very obvious. Like, if you want to win the overall, this is a roto league, like you mentioned. There's no punting.
Yeah, 50. Right. So yeah,
there's no punting if you want to win the overall. It's just you can't do it.
Yeah, no. I mean, again, just for everybody's clarification, for everybody who knows, 15-team roto leagues. We're all in a separate league.
Yeah, and 21 leagues total, 315 total participants. And you know, winning your individual league is nice, but I think we all would love to finish near or at the top of the overall standings. That would be freaking sweet.
Oh God, it'd be
and
great.
To do that, you got to be very balanced, and you do have to take some risks. Of course, you can't just be some ADP like slut where you're just like, oh, I got a fault. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You got to take some risk and pick your spots, just like everyone else. And you know, there's a nuance to it. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm just kind of got to go with the flow and try and find value early, and then, you know, once we get past round 10, I don't know, like pick 150, like just get the guy you think's best. I mean, ADP just flies out the window at that point.
Right.
Yeah. There's no. Now let's talk about this. So you guys, again, each of your leagues are a little bit further than mine, I guess.
Yes, my league just picked 9th, and somehow Jose Ramirez fell there.
Okay, J-Ram fell. Wow, J-Ram. Wow, to 9th. Now that's pretty good value, baby.
Yeah, I mean, like I was talking with the fans front office guys, like I didn't like his ADP of 3 or whatever it was coming in, but at 9th, geez, that kind of feels like you just should go home and do backflips or something.
I think there's a little bit too. I think there's too much overcorrection once it came out with that Jose Ramirez data.
With the second half, yeah. And what was that data, Andrew?
It was about that, like he couldn't hit the curveball or
the breaking stuff,
like breaking stuff, yeah.
Which again, like you want to take notes of that, but I would still take him like 4th or 5th, or he's not falling to 9th.
Yeah, just the power speed combo. I mean, if not,
and the runs and everything. Maybe the average is a little knock against him, and maybe it's 270 instead of 290. But what I mean, like some people are overcorrecting.
Well, and I think we're a little bit biased because we play a lot of OBP leagues, where there's like, there's just a little bit more, well, for lack of a better word, luxury. These leagues are so luxurious.
I will say the most, I'm not going to call it fucked up because I'm sure the guy that took him had justification. But so far, of all the 21 leagues, and where none of us are quite throw around, Chris Sale at number 5 overall is like, whoa.
Well, yeah. What's that? Like, I mean, that's now. I
tried to research who it was. Like my guess, and I was half joking, is Derek Carty from ESPN could have picked him that high just because he's absolutely in love with Sale and his projection system. The bat thinks he's the number 1 pitcher, and I think there's an argument for that based on his context, and that's what the bat really involves, is a lot of contextual stats. He pitches it away in the AL East and still puts up those numbers, as opposed to Scherzer is going to the Marlins and pitchers ballparks. But at 5th overall, I mean, I don't know, Andrew, what do you think?
No way I'd take Chris Sale 5th overall. I'd rather bet on Scherzer in the National League. I mean, I know the division's bulked up a bit, but Scherzer's been the number 1 pitcher for a couple of years now.
You guys can't see me, but I'm dancing right now.
Yeah. What's the highest? What's the highest either of you would take Sale?
Sale? I mean, I'd love Sale at the turn or the wheel or whatever the fuck they call it. Like the whole. Just again because you guys know my clone teams, the dynasty teams.
Sorry,
but my situation where I love Sale. And I feel like, given the new injury history related to last year, I would rather take him at like 14, 15, something like that, if I'm going to do that.
See, for me, I would probably do middle of the 2nd round. I just feel like right now there's just too many good hitters, and you got a lot of up-and-coming pitchers like, Walker Buehler, Jack Flaherty, guys to grab, and, So I don't think I'd take him until the middle of the 2nd.
Yeah, all right. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I can live with that. I think about it, like, I'm just like, 5. Do we know? Can you see the context of this league? Now, all right. So at Smada, I don't know what his full Twitter handle is, but Smada, who everybody knows in our situation here, he's keeping a spreadsheet here. We're gonna see how everybody does and compare.
Yeah, it's great. You got.
It's amazing.
You got team projections for all 315 teams, ADP for all the players, of course, and you can look up managers' info, what site they're affiliated, who they picked, when.
No, man. Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
I just keep thinking though, like, what did that league? Did you see that? I don't know. Can you tell?
Did Scherzer go before him?
That's what
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll
And,
investigate this.
for comparison, in other leagues, sale went where do you expect? 10, 12, 12, 10.
Well, I'm right here at we're on 12th pick, and Chris Sale's still on the board in my league.
Okay. Now, anybody who's like, at least our leagues are moving a little bit, but you gotta think about this. Like, you get into a league like this TGFBI stuff, the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational, where it's prestigious. It's not just like a clown show. And you're not going to show up in the first round. Like,
or have your queue. I mean, honestly, with all these quote industry people, you can't the night before make a queue of 15 guys, a round's worth of queue and go do what you want Sunday.
Exactly. I mean, I'm looking at my league right now. We're at 15th pick. And not to be critical of, Seth Klein necessarily, but like, dude, 15 minutes burned on the clock out of a 4-hour clock. Like, you're the turn. You're the rat pick. Like, you're not queued up, ready to go. Like, I know it was dragging. I know the draft was dragging, but like,
and you do get an email. You do get emails with your pick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we don't always.
And when you're on deck.
Yep.
Exactly. I mean, we don't always have push notifications. I don't want to be beep 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 guy, as much as I am beep 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 guy. But like, it's like, all right, well, come on, like, do we want to get through the first round today, or
for me? What I was surprised about in my league, so this guy made a pick. I don't remember which guy he picked, but he picked a guy, and then he asked in the chat, "Wait, so what scoring categories are these?" And I'm thinking, you're in the TGFBI, you're drafting, you've already made your pick, and you didn't even look at the settings. That is the #1 rule of drafts. Know your settings.
Exactly. Like, what do you do before you log into the league? Okay. I know my settings. Okay, this is 5x5. Roto, 15 teams. It's not that difficult. Like, you look at it, you're like, all right. And again, like, I think maybe there's some new people this year, like, maybe they're just not used to the format or whatever.
Yeah, or maybe the NFNBC thing. I know a lot of people don't
the
play
site.
on that.
Yeah. Well,
some states are banned from it, etc.
Yeah, like, I've had trouble logging in just because of the state I live in. Arizona doesn't allow paid sites, and whatever. But I mean, you want to be in the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational, and you haven't even made it your due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of,
yeah, that slaps. Like, I almost wish this league was OBP now, and he picked a guy with like a 300 average, but a 330 OBP.
Well,
actually, he thought it was. I think he asked if it was OBP, so I was thinking. I assume that's.
Dude, that's a question you don't ask in the draft chat.
Yeah,
you should be like looking at the settings.
Go to your email, find the rules, or you know what? TGFBI has a website.
Yeah, or just
an entire website.
Or just, you don't belong here. I mean, I hate to be shitty. I mean, we'll all be fun. It's okay, baby. We're gonna be fun. But like, I think about it, and I'm like, God, like the fact that we haven't even completed the first round here. Just looking at it, and like, again, and not to call out Seth, I'm not calling out Seth specifically, but like, Seth the sportsman is sitting here right now. Maybe he's at church. I don't know. It's Sunday, you know.
It's 3:00. No one's at church.
I don't know. I don't know when people go to church. I don't go to church, but I mean, when you get that turn pick, how do you not have a cue like just queued up? Like we're 20 minutes in here, okay?
If I had a turn pick, I'd be like, wait a minute, I get to make 2 picks in a row? I'm logging in right now.
Well, look, you see Lindor sitting there, Bregman, Macho, like.
All right, there's a question. This
Cool.
league has no DL, no injured reserve.
No.
What's the earliest you take Lindor?
Well, it's apparently 11th in my league because that's when he went. But for me, I'm completely avoiding him. Because he's not going to fall too ridiculously, and I just don't like where he's being picked.
But if he's sitting there like pick 25 or something.
Oh yeah, no. If he's sitting there where I'm at 26th, like I'll absolutely be all over Lindor. You know,
yeah,
like,
but
he'll
never fall that far.
No, he won't. He won't.
No.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, he's only falling like end of round 1. It looks like in mocks and of course today, but. Man, I'm just curious. There's going to be at least 1 or 2 leagues where you're like, whoa, he went 20 something. I bet you it happens once.
He'll fall somewhere. I mean,
there's always one surprise. I mean, Trout didn't go first in 2 leagues.
Well, and that's what we were talking about before we started drafting. You know, we're like, oh, we know Trout's not going to go. You know, so like, yeah.
I like to see the variance between Acuna. He went 3rd in my league. I've seen him go 9th in other leagues. You know, it's interesting how they deal with him.
Now Acuna was on my list, but I was again. I'm not gonna hide this. This is not a secret. This is anybody can jump on this and judge it for whatever they want, but like my pitching strategy is pitching strategy this year, so especially in these leagues, you know, like
and I'm still like 90% committed to this the third turn, so for me that would be pick 29 32. Am I gonna follow through and just double tap the aces in that range, which is like Cole, Bauer, Severino, and who else am I forgetting here?
Bueller, maybe Kershaw if they fall that far.
Correct. I'm not taking Kershaw, but
nobody's taking Kershaw at this point.
But yeah, like, do I double tap, and that way I don't have to worry about pitching for like the next 5-6 rounds or something.
Well, because you just double down. You got your bets, and then you got your 2 starters. Like, and
then like, do I really care that much about my third at that point? Like, that's why you can wait a while, right?
Well, I would say the one thing that we've talked about before is that pitching is harder to find than like actual fielders. You know, you can find offense. I mean, again, I blew like what 450
bucks on Soto.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like I blew it out the window, but like it paid dividends. You know what I'm saying? And so like, you know, that was good. I finished top 50, you know, like that was good last year. But like I feel like offense is easier to find. I still say this, even, you know, again, just like quality pitching, like starters and strikeouts and that specific vein, that's harder to find.
Yeah,
a lot of whatever else we're changing.
Well, I feel like if you don't take starting pitching or that's, you know, you didn't get Scherzer round 1, and let's say you don't take starting pitching at the 2-3 turn, like I feel like when I've done that in mocks, maybe gone 1 pitcher or maybe even none, go hitters first 3 picks, I feel obligated to be priced in to the 4-5 area with a Flaherty or a Clevenger or who guys I like, but do I want to be priced in for my ace there? I'd rather I'd rather go, stroll into those ranges with having the option and not being forced to, well, I got to reach on Herman Marquez, or I got to reach on a Flaherty by, 15 picks or whatever it may be.
Right.
I just feel, forced into it. Like, I love Flaherty, maybe not as much as Andrew. I don't think anybody does. But, but I do love him. But he's a number 2 for being real, right? Like, he can be your ace, but you got to really kill it on offense to justify it.
Right. Yeah.
I do backflips. I would do backflips if he was my number 2, or if Clevenger was even my number 2, or Herman. Do I want my ace? Do I want to? Because there's so many good hitters in that range too, between picks like 60 and 80. Like, do I want to force myself to have to take one of those guys there?
Now, are you guys willing to give a little a little spillage on your what your next picks are going to be, or?
I pretty much said mine. So.
I'm a little bit far away, and I actually haven't decided what I want to do. I will say, first round you got guys like Jose Ramirez, Mookie Betts, Trouts, and those guys are going to contribute in the steal department. Whereas I got JD Martinez, and while he's a 4-category guy, he's not going to get any steals.
No,
but he crushes those 4 categories.
Yeah, you got major. Like, again, he was in my queue. Like, again, my situation was 1 pick ahead of yours, and so I was looking like Max and Scherzer.
Okay, Bregman just went 12th. Just got to pick him right away.
Well, all right, Max and oh dear, like, yeah, this is. I was just thinking, I don't want to miss out on a really difficult category this year.
Okay, DeGrom, second pitcher off the board at 13th in my league.
Okay. So you're ahead of where we are.
Yeah.
I just James, what round are you in? TGFBI?
Pick 10.
Okay. We're just sitting here like, come on, pick. It's first round. And again, like, I don't mean to be shitty to Seth Klein here on the podcast. I like the guy, but like, Christ almighty. They're sitting here just sitting on the turn pick. The turn pick is just sitting. That's ridiculous.
Actually, I do have a strategy in mind. But I'll have to wait to see if it comes to fruition.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, obviously, you gotta like zig and zag, right?
Yeah, but for me, I want to create positional scarcity at a certain position, but I have to wait to see if that works out.
So you're gonna get aggressive at a certain position.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm fully committed here to pitching. Like, that's my. I hate to say it. Like, I'm not even gonna. I don't even care about hiding it because that's where my draft pick is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with pitching. Now, if something else happens, we'll see what happens. But like, I'm very committed to doubling down on strikeouts and starting pitching in TGFBI. And again,
that's what I did last year.
So I figured out who took Sale 5th overall. It was actually a guy I converse with pretty frequently. It's a Bradley Newman, like his Twitter handle is like Philly Star 27 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's the only one, by the way. He's the only one to take Sale over Scherzer.
Wow, took him over Scherzer.
Yep, he's the only one in all the 21 leagues to do that. And I told him, like, the contextual stats probably make him number one. Derek Carty would jizz his pants knowing your pick, but I just told him, like, not judging, I just wouldn't have the balls to do it.
No, that's just aggressive when you know, like, Scherzer's available. Like, I mean, for the love of God, like, take Scherzer. But
no, I'll get it.
we got babies running around here. Come on, Klein. What are you doing, Seth? Come on. So,
Seth Clown.
all right. All right. You can be on the clock. I'm not saying that about Seth, but
I'm kidding.
that's all right.
Probably, I think your kid is more excited about the TGFBI than either three of us.
Because she doesn't realize how long the wait is.
Yeah, we're all still like, come on, like, can I get my second pick today?
We're
all pretty even, like, in terms of like early picks. So that's nice, that's one thing we got going.
Daniel from Fantasy Front Office, he has the turn, and he took Goldschmidt and Judge, which is nice.
Nice. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
He wanted Story, but Story went 13th.
Was Altuve already gone?
I think he said he was.
Yes, Altuve was gone. Altuve's going earlier than any mocks we've done.
Yeah, he was double digits like every mock we ever did.
Okay, I was gonna say like,
Charlie Blackmon, number 14. Interesting.
No, he's still
first round. I couldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't take Blackmon in the first round. I don't think I could do that.
Nah, I don't think so.
No, but like as this draft turns around, like I think, I think now. All right, so Altuve went 13th in my league.
Wow, Altuve went 7th in mine.
Okay, so Altuve went 13th. Sale went like sooner than that. Like, I mean, I'm just trying to look here real quick. But
well, someone took Javi in the first. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Javi. No, I mean Javi's gone in my league. Like number 14. But of course, again, here's pick 15. I'm not here setting my cue. I didn't know when the draft. Like I hate to say this, like again, because this is somebody I respect and I like, but oops, I didn't set my lineup or my cue. But we still got, Lindor's still on the board. That would be fun if he slides way back. I could take that. But I think my guy that I'm looking for here is, I'm looking for an outfielder or maybe another starting pitcher just to like lock it down. You know what I'm saying? So, there is that. What are you thinking, Andrew? Like,
I'm just thinking, it would be wonderful if this grand story fell to me, but I doubt it will happen. So I'm thinking, gold's pretty good, and it's always nice to be free. So one of those two guys.
I was gonna say, if you could get Goldie or Freeman, that's pretty nice. I can live with that. I can live with that. That's again, we're on the NFMBC. If anybody hasn't played NFBC, it's a little bit different than like any of the other platforms we play because mostly it's paid, but
And also no trading.
right, that's the one. All right, so that's the one thing. Like, oof. I mean, I hit up. I was talking to Justin last night, and I was like, "So can I trade my pick?" And he's like, "Nope." I was like, "Oh, dang! Like that's not good." But yeah, like you think about it, like maybe you could like trade down and get like a little combination or something just for like one round or like on the corner or something, the turn, the wheel, whatever they call it. But yeah, like yeah, I just yeah, no trades. No, how are there no trades?
I guess probably to prevent any that you can't have collusion if you can't trade.
Well, I mean, again, but in a league like this, you expect shenanigans. Like, there's not gonna.
No, I was more referring to the money leagues. Maybe a guy signs up with two teams and then does some trades to get the better players on one team, you know.
Okay.
It's high money stakes in most of the leagues.
Yeah, some fake nonsense. Yeah, I could see that, I guess. But I mean, I just think about it. Like, you're trying to be in a league this good, you know, and you're gonna play shenanigans, like. So I
Let's
was just
see. In the TGFBI, they probably wouldn't because no one from the same website is in the same league. So
right,
if you're losing and the other guy's near the top, you can't. Hey, I'll help you out because you're part of my side. You can't do that here.
right, yeah, no, and so it's already kind of protected, but I guess one of the things I was thinking about is like instead of I took Max Scherzer at number 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought like maybe at the turn pick I would go double pitching, like a Nola, like a you know,
Yeah, Nola, Snell, something like
yeah,
Verlander,
exactly.
Kluber.
Yeah, just kind of we gotta get kinky, baby. I thought about that, but like I was like, oh shit, we can't trade. So
Yeah.
I guess we can't trade.
And for me, the thing is, I had Scherzer and Nola last year, and it didn't work out for me. So I want to be, different for me this year.
Yeah, so you're going totally opposite.
Hmm.
You're going oppo.
Oppo Taco.
What's oppo for Andrew here?
Uh,
Well,
home runs, and more home runs.
hang on.
You know me. I'm less so now, but I'm always the he hits for great average, love him kind of guy. But now I'm more home run, home run, home run.
Dings and dongs. Yeah, no, it's okay, baby. All right. So just a reminder, I want to throw this out there for everybody. We're joined in this podcast by Andrew at Fantasy Aid at Fantasy Aid One on Twitter, and of course Cubby Knoll at Cubby Knoll on Twitter.
Yeah, hello.
Thank you. Hello, gentlemen.
No problem.
Hello!
I'm doing the Sunday thing with kid and the puppy, so I'm trying to balance here. But yeah, my league's still at a standstill. Pick 10. And the guy who
We're now stuck at the turn.
okay. Now the guy that got J Ram at 9th is actually in my league.
Okay.
It was the guy we've drafted with a lot this offseason. Matt Bishop, Bishfat.
Bishfat, yeah, at Bishfat on Twitter.
And I think he runs or is a part of Fantasy Gospel, I think. Anyway, good guy, like really nice guy.
Yeah,
and he tweeted out he's basically doing backflips to get J Ram at 9th.
I was gonna say, we try to give credit where credit's due. Even if you're dragging your ass, like again, I'm bitching about Seth Klein, but you like your guy. I'm just still like, I'm used to the Addicts style of drafting.
Oh yeah,
Where it's just like we go full ham.
Heard y'all talking about the doubling and pitching. It's so much splitting hairs like on that turn with Cole, Severino, and Snell. Those three is splitting freaking hairs.
It's.
I think I probably have. I know maybe people in recency bias might have him third out of these three, but I think I have Severino first because his 10 out of his last 12 baseball months, he's been an ace.
Yeah,
but he had 2 bad months last year, and I think that's pushed him down a little bit. And then
those two had
Snell and Cole. Yeah, and then maybe
I didn't even know. Months, you know what I'm saying? Like I am dynasty owner here.
And then I don't know, like Snell, maybe you put third because he might pitch less innings than Cole. I don't know. It's splitting hairs between those three.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
what about you? What about you guys? Out of those three, Snell, Cole, and Severino, what order would you place them?
Cole, Severino, Snell.
Okay,
I
that's fine. I think you could put them any way, and it wouldn't matter. But yeah, I like that.
I'm very excited about either of them or any of them. Like I just, like I still.
I mean maybe you go Cole because he doesn't pitch in the AL East.
Right,
he gets to face the Rangers rebuilding, gets to face
Seattle, gotten rid of a lot of their guys.
Pretty much rebuilding. So that's nice.
I'm still looking at a bat here,
and even the Angels too. So
yeah.
So yeah, maybe Cole gets the nod.
The one thing I think I could predict for how the draft is going to go, and this is for all of us, is we are playing experts. We're playing the top of the top. But I think we'll like our teams more than any of the mock drafts we did because we always tend to target the same players. We like a lot of the same players, and therefore we always take from each other.
So now there might be more of our favorite players available.
Yeah.
In some spots, yeah.
That's true. That's okay, baby.
Yeah, because it's cutthroat. I mean, this is arbitrary number. We have in common probably 25 plus players we all like.
I am not,
and that's just throwing around a random number. So yeah, if there's different people, obviously you should get different results. And have my man, like Andrew's gonna do backflips if a certain outfielder is sitting in a certain spot, and one of us didn't take him because we're not there.
I've been looking at you guys' leagues, and I'm like, God damn it, why am I in the toughest league?
Dude, but you say that, but just because they don't have a big name doesn't none of us are big names at all by any stretch.
That's true. We don't,
we all fared well to one degree or another.
Yeah, not to discount. That's not the intention, but it's more about like
you have more known, so you think because them, there's a higher likelihood it's going to be tougher. But just because Andrew and I have less knowns doesn't mean they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I'm just like, damn it. Like,
but if you looked at, I don't know if you have Andrew, but in my league, I only recognize a few names. The biggest was Sport.
One name.
What do you got?
That's I think Brad Johnson.
Oh, okay. See, mine's Paul Sporer, but when I looked at my league's affiliations, every guy was affiliated with a website I've heard of.
Okay.
Whether it was big or small, I'm like, oh, I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
This is, this isn't just clown stuff. Like, this is TGFBI, baby. Like, I mean, come on. So, like, you gotta give TGFBI its credit. That's the one thing. So, like, if you've never played in a league, the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational, and you can get in. Like, you've got managers you've never heard of. You've got great experts. You've got like it's just such a mix. It's so you got daily guys. You got like I mean it's just such a mix. Like and now even again like what I love is that they've let people like us in.
Of course. And what the favorite thing, we talk about what our plan is. We all know the best laid plans can get fucked out the window real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you got to be flexible, obviously. You got to have contingency plans, of course. And that's what makes it fun because that's where the creativity comes in, the critical thinking. Like, all right, my job. Now I got to think, like, chess and 5 moves ahead. Okay, if I do this here, I got to do this 6 rounds later or whatever. That's the fun part to me. Your plan gets blown up and it can be frustrating too, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And I still
because if all our plans,
go ahead. Sorry.
I'm gonna say if all our plans went perfectly, it'd be like a patty cake league, and that's the opposite of what this is.
Yeah.
We don't want to be in that. We don't even want to be part of that. Like,
and we're all gonna look back on this thing just like I have last year and think like, what the fuck was I thinking there? Like you're always like, I fully expect once the draft concludes, probably like in the neighborhood of 25 to 33% of my picks, I'm gonna be like, wow, that was a waste.
right.
So as much as you can plan and scheme and blah, like no one drafts and they're like, yeah, I'm pretty good. I'll make a couple of moves. No, people are gonna like get hurt and bust and everything. So
yeah,
you got to kind of just accept that going in, and especially in one of these fucking leagues where it's like, all right,
the competition is not. I mean, even if it is just people you haven't heard of or whatever, like this is not just slap whacking like competition.
yeah.
So, yeah, like I mean, you gotta twist your mustache a little bit, but.
Now I know Tom, you said you were going heavy pitching. You want to make sure you get multiple closers. What about you, Andrew? Are you in that same boat, or are you more of get me at least one closer and I'll figure out the rest?
I would say give me one of the top 10 closers, and then I'll be going around and picking guys that are like, well, he'll probably snipe some saves here and there, kind of that mentality. I want one established closer that is probably not going to lose his job, and then pick guys like I'll just throw an example out there. Jordan Hicks and Andrew Miller. You don't know who's going to get the bulk of saves, but both are going to get some. So
maybe at least grab one.
and Josh
hey,
Hader's another one like that. Although Josh Hader's going a little early, I probably won't have Hader this year because of where he's going. Because he's going in the closer range when he's not a closer.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of my mentality toward relievers right now.
Okay, so Andrew and I are on the same page then. That's kind of where I'm at. Get a top 10 guy, and if someone falls, like some closer on some shit team, and he's just in this range where I'm like, okay, I'll take Michael Givens round 18,
Right.
Then I'll do that and back it up like Andrew's talking. Like, okay, I'll get some high strikeout 7th, 8th inning guy and hope for the best. Because there was a great pitcher list article I was telling you about, Tom, that just iterated the point of like saves are just being divided amongst the bullpen, and like the amount of closers that get over 85% of the team saves are just going by the wayside, and they're just getting spread out. So yeah, I'll probably be looking like Andrew, like give me a Brad Hand or Felipe Vasquez or even a Ken Giles who has like zero competition. He's like Travolta in the fucking Pulp Fiction gif, looking left, looking. There's no one knocking on Giles' door. And Giles, you're getting at a decent price this year because he sucked the first half of the year, but he's still top 10 potential. Like he's
potential.
And the Blue Jays stink, but we know that doesn't matter. Like shitty teams can have a closer with 35 saves because usually when they win a game, it's close in nature.
What's the catching situation? I want to ask you guys about that.
I don't want to talk about it.
We got two catchers.
Ew. I'll just say I'm not gonna have the Sanchez Lucas of the world.
Yeah. So nobody's going top except me, but I don't mind going top, but tippy top. But all right. So that's fine. That's fine. You gotta keep your strategy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep your strategy, baby. Yeah, I know. Like this NFBC or whatever it is. Like the whole setup is. Yeah, it's a little different than what we're used to, but I think.
Yeah, I mean, the no DL to me is more of like, geez, what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, IL, whatever you want to call it. The no trade doesn't bother me that much, just because like around the entire TGF. Anyway. I was about to say the last year, I don't know if there was one trade in my league.
I didn't see one trade in my league.
You know what I mean? So that's less of a big deal. That doesn't bother me. But the no IL is like, okay, like 7-man bench.
Makes you think on injury-prone players.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna have to be, skiing. We're gonna have to use our skis carefully.
And of course, what's gonna happen is in season when a guy gets hurt, and let's say he's out for 3-4 weeks, you're probably gonna have to drop him without an IL, and then that's going to be fun going on the fab, scooping up that guy at the right time to stash him. So that'll be another twist in this.
Well, and that's why I want to lock down 2 starting pitchers, a closer or 2. I can find hitting. I can find hitting on the waiver wire easier than I can find pitching, or at least less expensively.
For me, I want to put my team together like Legos, multi-eligibility. Okay, this guy's go down. I can swap this guy here, that guy there.
That makes sense. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh my God, we're still on the 10th pick. Oh, all right. Jesus.
Yeah, right. We're just stuck. Nobody's drafted. No, we're still stuck on the. Oh no! It's now it's Yahoo guy. The Yahoo guy is holding up shit. So Yahoo guy is holding up the draft. Okay. All right. How did I get in the most difficult league?
Why is it difficult? You passed the turn. I haven't yet.
No, I mean, we're actually, and I will say that we are past the turn, but how am I in the toughest league?
Well, guys, I'm gonna sign off. Got
Fair enough. All right,
some family
have
stuff
a good
to
one,
do.
Cubby.
It was nice chatting. Good luck.
Take care, man. We'll chat
it up. God, I can't believe we're 3 hours into this thing and not through round 1.
Right? All right, at least I'm through round 1.
Sheesh. All right, man. I'll holler at you later.
See you, Andrew. Man.
See ya.
Are you through round 1, Andrew?
We are on the 15th pick, so we're at the turn.
Okay, all right. So, well, I mean, we're all about the same spot, so that's fine. It's okay, baby. But yeah, I mean, I just, I look at this and I'm like, oh boy. I mean, who's not gassed up to like take their picks? You know?
I know. That's all I thought about this morning. I was like, TGFBI, let's go.
Exactly. Like, like, right? In our situation, I hate to say this, like, put this out in the open, but like, when you're like, I'm half dead, like, wee, like, no, I mean, you got one thing to like do,
Yeah.
and you're
It's
like gassed up about it, So
And
like,
just gassed up about baseball in general. I mean,
oh
I
yeah,
got, the first televised Cardinals game was yesterday. I got to see Paul Goldschmidt's first Cardinal at bat today. Got to see TGFBI. It's
yeah.
everything's rosy right now.
Exactly. You got Goldie. You got Gold. You got Goldie, baby. What are you worried? What are you worried about? It's okay. Oh man. No, I mean I think about this. But yeah, like no, it's gonna be fine. We all got our little strategy here, but I think then again, I don't mind saying this. Pitching is my strategy here this year. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be aggressive with this. I mean, do you have any specific aggressive strategy that you want to approach, or
Yes,
without it,
and that was
without
what I was
without
talking
without
about with taking away, making some positions scarcity.
okay, yeah, no,
But because at this certain position, they're eligible at more than one place, I can slot them in somewhere else. It's not like I'm going to take one that they can only play there. I'm taking, well, they have eligibility here, there.
well, it's I mean, I like that. I like that. I'm okay with that. I think it just depends on where your draft slot is, and yeah, it's all
Mm-hmm.
right. It's all right. It's all good. It's all good, baby. Well, I mean, I guess we should shut it down for now, just because we had some fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like thank you for joining us, Andrew at Fantasy Aid One, writer for Fantasy Front Office at Fan Front Office on Twitter, and of course James at Cubby Knoll. On Twitter. We're always on Twitter. And I'm at FSAA. FSAA. Literally those letters. Well, it's okay, baby. Man, I want my draft to move a little faster. Like I want my second pick tonight. I don't know. How far are you away from your second pick?
10 picks.
Okay. I'm like a little. Let's see here.
It shows you on the top. You're on the clock in 10 picks for
Well, I was
me.
gonna say, yeah, like I gotta scroll. Oh, like because I was looking at the players queue here.
Hmm.
2, 3. I'm not good at count. I suck at math.
But no, at the top, right under the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational Online thing, there's a thing that says by the timer that says you are on the clock in.
Oh, I didn't know that. Where's that?
It's just above the timer.
Oh. Okay. It says 1 o'clock for me, but I mean, I don't know if that's
No, the
1 8.
timer, like how long someone has to pick, right above that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all right. So that's the other thing. That's the other thing we're talking about here. The NFMBC here. It's not, it's not what we're used to. We're getting used
It's
to it. We're
uncharted
trying to.
territory. We haven't,
Yeah, I was gonna say
know.
we're getting used to it. We're trying here. But yeah, all right. So 3 hours plus for Del Don again, and he's Dalton Del Don. That's Yahoo guy. How did I get stuck in the goddamn toughest league?
That's because of how high you finished, I think, probably.
Whee! All right. But James got stuck in some crap, so I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
For me, I'll basically, after the season, I'll have tried every major sports thing now that I'm playing my first league in CBS, my first league on NFNBC. Obviously, I've already done ESPN, Yahoo Fantrax. So,
Might as well.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's okay, baby. It's all right. I have Lindor still sitting on the board here.
It just hurts with no injured reserve.
Well, if he falls like I've got basically Stanton and Lindor queued up, like, and I do want pitching. I want to double down on pitching with my half wrap sort of scenario where it's like I'm fifth pick, so like I kind of want to swing that, but I mean if Lindor is still sitting here at I don't know what my pick is.
26, right?
26, yeah. Yeah, if Lindor's still sitting in 26, you got to take him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even I don't even care about the stolen bases. I just love Lindor,
Yeah, switch hitter, good average, good home runs.
Yeah, you're gonna be okay, baby. I mean, if he falls that far, but I mean, my cue's more pitching than hitting.
Just keep in mind, first base is a lot shallower than it used to be. You definitely don't like. I would say the cutoff is around somewhere. Pick 120, and then you're probably going to get a trash first baseman.
Well, all right. So, in that regard, I want to say this: the one first baseman I think could be totally overlooked this year is Miguel Cabrera. Like,
yeah, he's a guy. I think he's gone around pick 150, 160. I drafted him in. It was an auction league, but I drafted him in the AL only league I'm in on CBS as my first baseman. Okay. But yeah, if he bounces back, it's just he only really has Nick Castellanos in that lineup. There's not.
Well, and that's not even the point. I mean, it's just like for that late. You know what I mean? Like if you're like desperate.
Yeah, but once again, we don't have an injured reserve, and he was injured a lot of last year. What happens if that happens again?
I mean, again, you can't anticipate injuries. You can. I mean, you can.
You can look at the history.
You can anticipate injury. I mean, that's the thing about injuries. You can anticipate. You can not anticipate. I would love another couple of full seasons out of Miggy, because he was one of the like first prospects. Like when I first started playing, way back, like prospects.
Mm-hmm.
Like who am I into? Like Miggy was one of the guys. He's one of your prospects, baby. But no, I think about that. The other thing I like to do with the Miggy situation is handcuff. I want to handcuff, obviously, something.
Yeah.
Alonso would be ideal, obviously.
Right. I did the same thing when I drafted Miggy. I did handcuff. I did make sure, okay, I'm going to grab another second baseman just in case. Because it's an AL only league. You're not just going to go to the wire and be like,
no.
Oh, there's a guy.
Yeah, no, AL's... Well, AL, NL... Yeah, those split leagues are just like...
Yeah, I paired, let's see, paired him with I paired him with two guys, I think. No, only one guy, really?
Hmm.
Huh. Oh, okay. Well, and keep in mind, it's an AL only league. Like, I'm
Right.
not saying go draft this guy, but
Right.
Chris Davis is my backup first baseman.
I mean, you could always go after Rowdy.
Oh, he's
You gonna
gone.
get Rowdy?
He was
Oh,
drafted.
okay, all right. Rowdy's gone. All right. Well, I was gonna say Rowdy, Alonzo. Those are like the rookie players that
Yeah.
I would be like stacking and like thinking about with like a handcuff or a Miggy if you're like lazy at the first base position.
Mm-hmm.
So, like there is
And there is a
that.
point where you kind of have to be because, there's the top two guys. Obviously, Goldschmidt, Freeman are the top two first basemen.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, it really depends on the draft spot. Like, oh man, do I want to reach for Rizzo? Do I want to reach for Abreu? Because it's not at that point where you take him that, but or Votto, it's not the point if
Votto.
you take him, but they'll be gone before your next pick.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Votto's like, if you're just like last stop, I don't know who to draft. Like like a friendly league, a 12-team league. Votto is the guy to get. But like, yeah, I mean, I mean, there's like, we're all like pie in the sky upside players, with the Alonzo and, Rowdy and whatever. But, I mean, you kind of think about it. You're like, oh, geez. First base. Like, I thought it was a little. I thought it was a little more developed than it was. Like, oh, geez. Now it's a little more. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's like,
it's
where did all the Paul Konerkos go, or the other people? Like, oh man.
well,
Apparently, every good athletic person that comes up now is a shortstop.
and I mean, there's other, like, again, like, they play multiple positions. You get your
Mm-hmm.
you get your flex out of that. Like, that's okay. But yeah, I mean, you want some boom boom out of your first base if you can get it. And I still don't. By the way, like, again, one of the guys we were talking about last year was what's his name? Chicago. You know what I'm talking about.
Want to say Abreu?
Yeah, Abreu. Yeah. There you go, man. I mean, you still get your little boom boom out of that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, like, okay,
Hopefully
but
he'll be batting in front of Eloy Jimenez at some point.
yeah. I mean, you got that. You got, if Moncada starts running, like he's batting second or something like that. I mean, I mean, there is that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just, but it's weird that like first base is just not, such a luxurious position as it used to be. So,
Right.
yeah, it's all right. I think we will survive in these particular leagues.
Evan commented. I don't know when he commented, but I was looking at that YouTube chat.
I didn't even see that.
He said, "Nice listening to you guys talking about the draft. It's making me Jones hard." Speaking of addicts.
Well, heyo, Evan. Thank you. Appreciate that. And again, I'll just wrap it up. Let's wrap it up right here. Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous was joined by at Fantasy Aid One, our good friend Andrew, joined by at Cubby Knoll, our good friend James. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at letter F, letter S, the word double, letter A. I'm Tom. I'm a fantasy sports addict. Andrew, are you a fantasy sports addict?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There we go. All right, Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. Hit us up anytime. Ooh, by the way,
Make sure to following us on Twitter because most of us will be tweeting out our picks. Like I've already tweeted out my first pick. Jeremy made some great graphics for us, each one of us.
okay, that's pretty sweet. Like that's not bad. Like you made some graphics, baby.
Yeah.
I wish I had some guy like on my website making graphics. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's pretty cool though. Like, so you guys got all new graphics and stuff, and now I'm sitting here all fucking jellyfish. Like, but no, it's good. It's good. It's good stuff. FFO. By the way, that's another thing. Fantasy front office. You know, the two of you, James and Andrew, fantasy front office at fan front office on Twitter. Right? Like,
Yep.
there you go. There you go. You find them right there. So I'll throw that up there, and you know, appreciate the conversation, and you guys have a good one. And like, you know, we'll chat a little bit later. But, I don't know, but like this TGFBI, thank you one more time, Justin Mason. Thank you. You know, Justin Mason is the guy that hosts this, and it's on the NFNBC website. So, or is it the NFBC? Yeah, not the NFNBC.
Yeah, I was confused that.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm fucking it up. The NFBC website. So like, there we go. We're good. And you know, fantasy gods. You want to chime in here?
Please grant me the serenity to set my ideal lineups.
Courage to add drop aggressively, and the wisdom, as always, to set my ideal lineups. All right, Andrew, at Fantasy Aid 1, thank you for joining me.
Yep.
And you know, like getting fired up for the you know, it's baseball season, baby. It's gonna be good. All right, man. It was good talking to you, and good talking to everybody else.